So back to the channel guys in yet another chess video, and I'm back again with another brilliant move game of mine. And today I don't have the appropriate words to describe how beautifully I played in this game and how I just back to back sacrificed two pieces to checkmate my opponent's king. And don't forget that I also played a brilliant move in this game. So the game you are about to witness is a complete masterpiece. So without any further ado, let's begin. So in this game I again had the white pieces and I opened up with the king's pawn opening e4. Opponent goes for the Sicilian defense with c5, and now I played knight to c3, and after d6 I continued with f4 because I wanted to play the Grand Prix attack, and this is the position of the Grand Prix attack, and you can play this against as white, and it's a good choice, really good choice against the Sicilian. So opponent continues with the move e6, and now I developed my knight on f3. Now opponent plays knight to c6 and I played bishop to b5. And now in the Grand Prix attack, the idea for white behind bishop to b5 is that white generally captures the knight on c6 to spoil black's pawn structure. And when I said generally, I said most of the times. There are some exceptions as well, which you will see later in the game. So now my opponent played bishop to d7, and I wanted to point out another thing, that the white bishop will never capture the knight unless it is attacked by the pawn, if the knight is only defended by the pawn and no other piece. So now I castled kingside and opponent attacks my bishop via a6. And now I am gonna ask you a question. Should I take the knight or should I retreat with my bishop? Well, I just retreated with my bishop because I already told you, unless the knight is only defended by the pawn, and I'm talking about the b7 pawn, only then you should take the knight when attacked. Otherwise you can most of the times retreat. It's completely fine. So opponent develops his dark squared bishop on e7, and now I continued with d4. After c takes d4 I played knight takes d4, and opponent develops his other knight on f6, and now I retreated with my knight on f3 again. So opponent castles kingside, and now I played bishop to d3. Opponent retreated his knight to e8, and now I pushed e5. And after this series of exchanges in the center, we now have the position. And most of you might know that a Greek gift is lurking. And if you do not know what a Greek gift sacrifice is, then I already made a video about it on my channel. Then you can check it out later after watching this video, or else I will put a link in the description or in the pinned comment. So anyways, let's continue. After my opponent plays queen to c7, pressurizing the e5 pawn, I quickly played bishop to g5 because I really wanted to give the Greek gift sacrifice. And in this position I was expecting my opponent to either play h6 to kick away my bishop, or the move f5, but I never expected him to take my bishop, because I was thinking that if he will take my bishop then I will give a Greek gift. But he made a prime blunder of grabbing my bishop. And ladies and gentlemen, now I unleashed the deadly and savage bishop takes on h7 check And can you see how a brilliant move this is? Because first of all, it forces my opponent to react. My opponent is in check and he's only got two moves, either to take the bishop or move his king to h8. And both of these choices are losing for him. If not immediate checkmate, but then he will have to lose a lot of material. So in the game my opponent chose to take my bishop, or else we can say that opponent accepted my bishop sacrifice or Greek gift sacrifice, and now I jumped in with the knight. I jumped in with the knight with the move knight takes on g5 check, and I forced the king out in the open, because if the king goes again to g8, then queen to h5 will end the game. So opponent played king to g6, which was the best move in this position, and now I played queen to d3 check. And on this move I thought for almost 30 seconds, and I decided to sacrifice my knight as well to start a brilliant king hunt. And accepting the knight sacrifice was a big mistake, because here my other knight jumps in with knight to e4 check, and black is busted here. Opponent plays king to h6, but I think, as far as I know, it's already a mate in 11 or 10 for white now. So I continued with queen to h3 check, and it's already a mate in 9 as Stockfish Eval shows. And the king moved to g6, but to no avail, as I continued the mating attack with queen to g4 check, king to h6, and now I pushed the king back via queen to g5 check. King to h7 was the only move. Now I played queen to h5 check. The king went to g8, and now I finished this off with knight to g5. And again, there's no way to stop the mate here, and my opponent tries the last attempt with knight to f6, but I simply took his knight with my pawn, and it was in this position on move number 24 that my opponent resigned the game and I won. But let me show you another line. Although it wouldn't have stopped the checkmate, but it would have lengthened the game up to some extent for black. So the line goes like this. First, black plays queen to b6 check, of course, to lengthen the game. And once the king goes to h1, here comes queen to g1 check, and black will have to do this to lengthen the game. So after rook takes on g1, black can play moves like knight to f6, but there's no point in continuing this when we know that the game will end in my favor. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, then please share this video with your family and friends, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. So this is RRB signing out.